from tinahills.com. So if you don't know my work, kindly check out my website www.tinahills.com. Now this is a very, very special video. I tend to say that a lot, but believe me it is, because today as I speak, this is one of the greatest Krittika Nakshatra activation, or what you may call the Pleiades activation. Okay, so we know that Krittika is the Pleiades, right? And we know that it spans sidereal Aries and Taurus, and it's in Taurus in the tropical system. Okay, so now what do I mean by the Pleiades portal or the Antahkarana of Krittika Nakshatra? Now we've just had a lunation, a new moon in Krittika Nakshatra. So that has sort of opened a portal. But today, till the 21st of May, is indeed a very, very special Pleiades activation or Uchishta Ganpati activation. For you know that Uchishta Ganpati is born in the Pleiades. Okay, he is born in Krittika Nakshatra. Okay, now Krittika is a very special place indeed, because in the Vedic system it used to be the first nakshatra. Ultimately, the Ashwins became the first, and Krittika the third, Bharani the second, and Krittika the third. So there is something very special about this particular Pleiades portal, and it activates the Vishuddha chakra, as I have said. So what is so special from today, which is 15, to the 21st of May 2021? The thing is that Earth, the Sun, and Krittika Nakshatra Pleiades will be in absolute total alignment. Okay, the Sun has moved into Krittika, and it is really powerful right now, these energies cutting the cutters. Remember I had said that Krittika is the star of transformation, cutters. Okay, always remember that. Now, so you understand that Earth, the Sun, and the Pleiades are joined in perfect alignment. This means that the Sun is channeling information from Krittika or Pleiades. This is why the Pleiades portal is open right now to receive information. For you know that the Pleiades is responsible for the forms that we see in this particular solar system. Now, when this happens, actually from the last new moon, is a great time for awakening the energy of Uchishta Ganpati. Like I said, he is born in the Pleiades, okay? And he has a huge collection to Alcyone, the main star of Pleiades. Now, basically what's going on is that the sun, you know that Uchishta Ganpati is also very closely associated to the sun. So the sun is literally now channeling all of this information from Uchishta Ganpati. There are numerous solar systems, there are numerous realities, and it is said in the Tantras that there are infinite realities as there are infinite Shivas, Vishnus, and Brahmas. So so it readily follows that there are infinite Ganpatis. And I've also told you that, when we speak about Saturn, we understand that Saturn comes with a bunch of significations. But these significations, where do they percolate from? Has Saturn invented these? No. Saturn is a representation of all these significations that we attribute to the planet Saturn. But there is a Saturn in every reality. Why? Saturn is hard work, discipline, and perseverance. Okay? So the principles of Saturn are not primarily exclusive to our Saturn. Our Saturn is grounding these principles. The planet Saturn that you see with all these beautiful rings. It is logged on, it's tuned in to the energy, and it's grounding these Saturnine energies. So the principle of Jupiter, the principle of Saturn exists everywhere, as do the principles of Venus, Mercury. Communication. Communication in all form, in some form or the other, exists everywhere, in every creation. For it is the need to communicate with the other that deity manifests as many, right? So now when you think about the sun drawing solar flares, drawing information from Uchishta Ganpati, this is so symbolic because I've been noticing in the media, in the alternate media, new age media, that there has been numerous solar flares and solar storms and geomagnetic storms. All right, and this is just tremendous because the sun is going through its own awakening, like a sort of a new light. Light, the principle of light, contains form, like sound contains form. So this principle of light in some way is being vivified. And I told you Krittika is Dahan Shakti. So burning is light. So the light and its symbolic form, so the archetypes that it carries, is now coming forth. A new set of archetypes. For every, thank you, for every year, we have two times that we have the activation of Krittika or the Pleiades. Once now and once in November. So mark my words that when we have all these solar storms and we have all these solar flares, there is something going on. There's some transmutation going on, or there is some kind of celestial communication going on. Maybe the sun and the earth are communicating, or maybe the sun is sending some energy, okay, in which to us makes no sense, but it definitely makes sense in the celestial realms. That's the thing. Now, the solar flares and solar storms, it's about sun gathering all this energy from the Pleiades portal, from Krittika, and then finally releasing it. So this release mechanism is oftentimes seen as solar flares or solar storms. All right, this release mechanism of the sun. Now, almost imagine this as a sort of portal or antahkarana. Antahkarana is the energy bridge, the rainbow bridge that is built from this realm to the other. Okay, now so what's going on right now is Uchishta Ganpati is creating a sort of a antahkarana, which is coming from Krittika or Pleiades, and it is being transmuted or translated or elucidated or narrated by the sun to the earth. And we are being vivified with new forms. We are being inundated with new ideas, new forms, okay, new significations that are coming up into our lives, right? It's a very powerful time right now to connect to the sun through Surya Namaskar or solar Gayatri or even solar Surya Beej. Okay, Ram, Reem, Rom, Sa, Suryaya, Namaha. Om Ram, Reem, Rom, Sa, Suryaya, Namaha. Okay, so it's a very good time to connect with the solar logos. Okay, especially if you have a difficult sun. Even if you say have a great sun in Leo in the first house, aspecting no malefic, absolutely strong sun, even then it will only cement and fortify your sun, right? And the sun is actually why you have incarnated. The deep spiritual reason behind your incarnation is the sun. So by paying obeisance to the sun, by offering oblations, you are clearing the path to discover what it is, or why it is that your soul has decided to incarnate in this very specific time. All right. So Gayatri mantra, Bij mantra, Surya Namaskar, waking up with the first rays. Waking up before the first rays, taking a bath, cleaning yourself, wearing fresh clothes, and facing east and greeting the sun. All right. Even if you can't remember the mantra, just greeting the sun, saying, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." The Vedic mantra is Japa Kushuma Shankarsham Kashapayam Mahadyuting Dhantaring Sarva Papagnam Pranotasmi Divakaram. For those who know the Navagraha Stotram, you can use that particular part of the Navagraha Stotram. Now, again, we have this Krittika and Uchishta Ganpati activation when the sun is opposite Krittika Nakshatra. So the sun was in Krittika and we had a new moon and Amavasya. All right. Now, when in November the sun is opposite Krittika, we are going to have a full moon. All right. So now this full moon again, it's very interesting because the new moon sows a seed, and in the new moon the light is obscured, right? We don't see anything, so everything is in darkness. So it is the womb energy, it is the soil, the dark deep soil of the unconscious energy. Taurus's forms and Scorpios going deep into those forms, diving without any fear. For both these signs do have a courageous streak to them. Both are courageous. There's something about Scorpio that goes really deep. All right, and this time when the sun is opposite, and is now opposite Krittika Nakshatra, and this happens sometime in November. So what goes on after this is sun is in Krittika, sun has been bathed in the light of the nakshatra and its significations, and the sun is moving through the galaxy. Now the sun is gathering all of this information, and then once again it is back because Krittika releases the forms. So through the sun gathers all the forms from Krittika and then moves through the different signs to explore these forms. All right, explore these forms. Thank you. And now the sun, when he comes into an opposition, he brings a sort of intergalactic energies. For the solar system is teeming with galactic information, asteroids, different space debris, and what have you. So the galaxy is also teeming with galactic information, intergalactic information. Thank you so much for your kind donation, Liam. I appreciate it. Now what happens is that since Uchishta Ganpati has released all these forms and that we've played with all these forms, and the sun is opposite Krittika, that's the time to see how these forms have developed into the material world, individually as well as collected. Wow, Liam, you seem to be in a good mood today. So what happens is that all these forms, or the assimilation of all these forms, now there is some kind of opposition, and oppositions are always painful in some way, because there's always this or that energy, and that causes a lot of friction. Now, from 15th to 21st of this month is a heavy activation portal, heavy Pleiadian activation, so Vishuddha chakra activation, Vak, okay, uh, the concept, the birth of the idea in the heart, traveling to the mind and becoming a cognitive spark, to travel all the way through the mouth, through the throat chakra again, and in some way using the saliva to uh, express it. All right. Well, Liam, you do seem to be in a good mood today. Nice. That's nice. Keep it up. I guess you finally decided to sort of, become a heavy patron. But anyway, now let's get back to this from 15th to 21st. So now I've told you that if Uchishta Ganpati carrying the rosary signifies that he's the power of mantra. So how may you use this Pleiadian activation? Alright? Mantra is the science by which you can connect to the Pleiadian energy. So if you start connecting right now with the mantra, especially these few days, and you begin to practice all the mudras and the nyasas and the mantras, you will see that by the time it is November and the sun is in opposition, you're going to experience something completely different. Because the way it would be if you are not tapping into this energy, that would completely change if you actually tapped into this Pleiadian activation. It's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. I'll explain to you later why. But it is, galactic energy that is seeping forward right now, seeping forth, coming into our unconscious. Now, so mantra, all right? Wow, that is like superb. Liam, I don't think I've ever got tips like this over here. That's nice of you. As I said, that with this mantra, we can upgrade our DNA. So I've already told you his mantra, which I am primarily giving to most people, is Om Hasti Pisachi Likhe Swaha. Okay, he's Mahayaksha, he's Mahaganapati, he's Uchishta Ganpati. So now it will change your DNA. So yesterday was Akshay Tritiya. Oftentimes people they go and they buy gold. But the thing with Akshay Tritiya is it is actually about finding the gold within. Alright, that is the energy of Akshay Tritiya, and it's just, it opens up the Pleiadian portal, the Krittika portal. It opens it up, Akshay Tritiya. And here you have an outpouring of gold, of abundance. Now, uh, wow, thank you. Now, what will happen is the gold inside in Akshaya Tritiya opens up the portal. The beams of the sun will carry these energies, right, of Uchishta Ganpati, and Alcyone is the main star of Krittika Nakshatra. Please watch my other videos on Uchishta Ganpati, 4 videos or 5 videos I'm forgetting, and one on Krittika Nakshatra to better understand what I'm saying if this interests you. It's well and good to say you channel from the Pleiadians, but wouldn't it be amazing if you really tuned in to the mudras, the mantras correctly, and you tuned into the deity of the Pleiades? Wouldn't that be amazing? Many people in the New Age say there are blue people that live in the Pleiades. Yes, because it is the place of Uchishta Ganpati who is blue. Now, so these stars in Pleiades are called the rainy stars. Very symbolic. Ganpati is Jal Tattva or water Tattva. John Milton, who wrote Paradise Lost, so prophetically says of the sun that the great dawn of the Pleiades before him danced. The great dawn and the Pleiades before him danced. Now remember how I told you that Uchishta Ganpati starts doing the Anand Tandav. Thank you so much, Liam. Started doing the Anand Tandav. Alright, and the Anand Tandav is dancing. So, what is Milton saying? That the sun, before the sun, the great dawn and the Pleiades before him danced. Yes, and I said how Uchishta Ganpati does the dance to create. So you see how John Milton was actually a prophet in some way. He was tuning into the wisdom that Ganpati is Jal Tattva. He called them the rainy stars, and many astrologers have called the Pleiades rainy stars. And Ganpati is Jal Tattva or water element. He activates the water element. Now, now when Ganpati starts dancing, yes. Now when Ganpati starts dancing, right, before the dawn of time, and he manifests creation, and the sun is birthed after him. He manifests creation and the sun is birthed after him, for he comes from the Utshishta or the residual above. So that leftover is always remaining if there is a reality to perceive it or not. That is why he's Utshishta. I explained to you that concept. So he exists before the dawn and he births the sun. And the sun sees before him the dance of Ganpati, that is Pleiades, Uchishta Ganpati's Pleiades. Alcyone actually. He manifests as a toric field. Now, this is so interesting. And he remains even after destruction of everything, for he is the leftover. Okay, he is there before creation, he is there after destruction. Now Hafiz, okay, Hafiz is a beautiful pagan Arab poet, Hafiz. And also all the pagan Arab tribes, they called this particular star, Krittika, this nakshatra, the seat of immortality. Yes, the seat of immortality. Okay. Now, so did the Berbers or Kabilas of northern Africa, and so did the Dyaks of Borneo. All of these people, these three tribe in Africa, northern Africa, and then the Dyaks of Borneo. All right, and all of them considered thank you. All of them considered this to be the central point. I told you how Alcyone or the Pleiades was considered, is still considered by some, to be the central point from where all the information of this observable universe is seeping forward. Now, there is a deeper meaning to this, of course. There's a sequence, there's Sirius that's also heavily involved in this. So I'm going to get to that. But here we talk about many cultures. I'm just trying to bring to your attention that many cultures have said that the Pleiades is the midpoint of universal creation. So the universe is created from this point in a toric field, a donut that eats itself. All right. Thank you, Liam. You are being so kind today. Amazing. I'm definitely gonna give you a free reading, Liam. Definitely. Now, so all of these people, and there's another thing that the all of these people considered this to be the central point. Now, the central point is the Utshishta or the residual above. Okay, as if they knew about Anand Tandav, the Australian tribes. Sorry, Aquarius TV. I did not say your surname, no. All right. Now imagine this being on YouTube for thousands of years, and everybody's like, "Oh, damn, there was some Liam there, there was some guy there that day, right?" Yeah, but it's a pretty common name. You gotta give it that much, right? Now listen, as if they knew the Australian. I told you my real name. So the Australian Aborigines would dance when the Pleiades would be rising in the eastern sky, as if they knew about the Anand Tandav of Uchishta Ganpati. This donut shape is created through a dance-like activity of celestial energies, right? Now, it is very interesting that the Pleiades, okay, now modern astrologers as well as ancient astrologers, is one commonality. They say that the Pleiades rising gives injuries to eyes and face. Now, this is symbolic because what happened to Ganpati? When Ganpati, there are many versions of this myth, but when Ganpati was born, he lost his head. Some say that, Parvati created him with turmeric and breathed life into him. Then he was born. Then Shiva completed his penance from Kailash and came down to meet Parvati. And then, Ganesha was outside and Parvati was bathing, so he let Shiva come in. So Shiva got so angry that he killed Ganpati, he severed his head with his Trishul. Alright, some say that this is one myth. And then, of course, when Parvati was distraught, then Shiva sent his Ganas to find an appropriate head. And the Ganas go out and they find the perfect head, which is of Gajanan, a very strong elephant king. So, this is how one creation myth of Ganpati goes. The second is when, Ganesha was born, he was actually an avatar of Lord Vishnu. So, wow, he was an avatar of Lord Vishnu, right? And he was to be born of Sati. So now, once he was born, and Parvati was very proud of him, and she gave this big name keeping ceremony, and she called all the devtas, all the celestial beings, the Gandharvas, the planets. Now everybody knew that Shani's eyes were evil, not necessarily evil. There are deeper symbology to this. But Shani could not see directly, could not gaze directly. So Shani was sort of like looking at the boy like that. He didn't really want to see. Shani Saturn. But Parvati said that, this is Vishnu's avatar. So, what could happen to him? Look at him. So Shani looks at the baby and his head is literally blown off. So we see that Ganpati is actually associated, thank you again, is associated to Jupiter, but not to Saturn. So there is something, and you know that Saturn's primary deity is Anjaneya. Okay, now him and he have a story. Whereas Ganpati is more associated to Jupiter. So Saturn's gaze, he literally lost his head. So this is one story. So where was he born? In Krittika and Pleiades Nakshatra, rising with Pleiades, injuries to the head. And what happened to Ganesha? He lost his head. So there are little stories in stories and myths in myths. Okay, only if we realize the connections, and if we look deeper and we look beyond the obvious legends that we've been told, there is something really interesting that is happening. Pleiades rising, decapitation of the head, okay, like injury to the head. So this is the Pleiades portal as we speak. It's active from now to the 21st. If you have any planets opposite this particular nakshatra, it is primarily it's in tropical Taurus, and for sidereal people it spans from 26 of Aries to 940 of Taurus for Vedic astrological students. So here we see, it's in Taurus, right? It's in Taurus, or it's at the end of Taurus. It's 26 degrees of Taurus or something, if I'm not mistaken, Pleiades. Is it the late degrees? Because it is 24 degrees ahead of the Vedic system, and this is from 26 degrees it begins, Krittika, the Pleiades, Aries. So it will be about end of Taurus, not end of Gemini. It's 24 degrees apart, right? So it's Taurus. Remember, Taurus feeds us with all the forms. Anyway, thank you very much for everything. And this is the end of the video. Use the Pleiades portal. Receive from the Pleiades portal. If you want to know more about the workshop, please contact me, where I will teach you mantra, nyasa, mudra and basic dhyana of Uchishta Ganpati and how to work with sound mantra. I will message you. I have another video to do and I'm surely going to message you. And the next video, people, is Jupiter in Pisces, but a completely different take on Jupiter in Pisces, because I will be discussing with you some astronomy about Jupiter that will make his astrological position so very strong. So join me in the next 3 minutes as I just cut the video and start the next one. Please join me and like, comment, subscribe, share, and let me know what you think. Thank you.